Hello guys, today I'm gonna show you a must strategy if you want to reach 1000 elo in chess and really if you want to get to any elo. And it's checkmating the black king or the opponent king with only a rook. In my case is the black king. So let's get right to it. What you basically want to do is trap the king in a box. So a box made something like this with the corners, with one of the corner, and it can be like this or like this, however you want, or even like this or like this, but generally you want the smallest box possible so you can checkmate him as fast as possible. So if you see, I think the smallest box is either this, yeah, I think it's this, but it actually might be a little bit easier, and it might be easier visually for you to understand if I create the box like this, put the king in the box like this. So we need to play a rook move, and that is rook e2, because now the box is, sorry, the box is like this. Okay, he can't go here or in any side of the board, like around here. And maybe he will try to get to the corner, so maybe he can try to escape. If that happens, you just bring the king over, and when the king goes back, if you have an opportunity to make the box smaller, you do it. Rook e3 makes the box smaller. See, now the king can't go to the third file. Okay, uh, king goes somewhere. He can't go in the corner because he's already in the corner, so he can only go to the sides. And now, if you could be able to play rook e4, it would technically make the box smaller, but if you do, the king is just gonna take your rook. So you just bring the king closer, and now you can play rook e4 because it's protected. Now let's say the king goes back to the corner, still trying to escape. Now you can't really make the box smaller because if you play rook e4, now the king just escapes here, okay? Because you want to trap him in this box, okay? You don't want him to get out of the box. So what you want to do is play a king move, any king move. Probably the better king f4 because you advance with the king and you can put your rook higher on this, on the e file. Okay, now let's say king goes here. Um, what you basically want to do is still making the box smaller, but you can't play rook d3. So you don't want to get your king in the way of the rooks, or in this case the rook. But in this specific case, if the kings are in front of each other, you can get your king in front of the rook because the king can't. The king will go here if you give him a few moves, like 1, 2, 3 moves. He can escape. But on this particular move, he can't escape. So he can only go here. And now you make the box smaller by playing rook d3 because now this square is protected. And you've made the box smaller. Okay, so you just keep doing that. You know, king goes here. You can actually play rook d5, king goes here. Bring the king closer, just make the box smaller. You know, king goes here, rook c5. You know, it's not that difficult. You just need to understand the simple process. And now king here. Let's just now. It This is a very important part. Let's say king goes on the final rank. It can be either here, 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 or here. It doesn't matter. Now you make the box smaller again, rook c7. But now you can't really make the box smaller because you don't have any more files. So now king plays the only legal move, and now you basically put your rook further away from the king, like on the G or H files, respectively A or B files. It doesn't really matter. And now your goal is to get the kings to be in front of each other on your turn. So when he moves, your kings are in front of each other. Now, black can make it easier for you and just play king c8, but let's say black still wants to survive the game. So he plays through king a8, you play king b1, b6, and now the only legal move for the king is king b8. So you notice the kings are in front of each other, are staring at each other. And this is the point where you play rook g8, checkmate. Okay? That's basically it. It's not that hard, but if you manage to understand it, you will win many more games and you can gain elo easier. And this is a must if you want to get to 1000 elo or even higher. Okay, so thank you if you watched the video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Bye.